Hello geography fans, and in this video we are going to be taking a look at the Syrian Civil War. Or I guess I should say the alternate future of the Syrian Civil War. This won't be a very long mapping video. This is kind of just something that I wanted to do because, well, I was looking through some old comments, and about 7 months ago, some guy said that they wanted to see a Syrian Civil War video, and well, here it is. So yeah, this was kind of the best map I could find for the Syrian Civil War. The red is the government forces. The yellow is Kurdish rebels. The lighter blue is Turkish supported rebels, and the dark blue is Israeli occupied Golan Heights. And I think for the past couple years, it's more or less been a stalemate in Syria. These borders haven't really moved much. It's really kind of just it's like one of those long and grueling Middle Eastern campaigns. It's really what's going on here. But we're about to speed that process up and actually make this interesting. So fast forward a few months, and essentially, this war is still going on. There's still not much border movement. But then, out of the blue, pretty much, the United Nations passes a resolution, which essentially in this resolution, it states that Turkey is to stop supporting these rebels right here. And obviously, these are Turkish-supported rebels. Well, now Turkey is having to pull out of Syria completely for whatever reason. Maybe they, did some shady stuff in northern Syria. I don't know. But for whatever reason, Turkey is now having to pull out of Syria. And so Turkey decides that instead of giving this little province back to the government forces, they decide to first cede it over to the rebel forces, supported by the United States and their allies, instead of ceding it over to the government forces. With this newfound leverage, they're able to encircle and capture one of the Kurdish groups that was up here near the western part of Syria, near the Turkish border, and then stalemate. Fast forwarding a little under a year, we see that the Kurdish forces have made some progress in going down south into Syria, and while one of the Syrian rebel groups down here near Damascus was eliminated by Syrian government forces. Now, remember that resolution that the United Nations passed for Turkey? Well, essentially, the United Nations passes pretty much the same resolution for Israel, demanding that because of the shenanigans in Gaza, that Israel is to withdraw from Syria. Now, Israel, being a stubborn little you-know-what, refuses to do this. And now let's read off the list of countries that are at war with Israel. Iran, Iraq, Palestine, Lebanon, Yemen, Egypt. Yeah, I could go on for quite a bit. So yeah, basically, everyone that hates Israel is now at war with them because, well, this. Now Israel, seeing that the world is actually doing something about their shenanigans for once, decides that, okay, you know what, fine, we will withdraw from this little territory of Syria that we didn't even really care about in the first place. Which is exactly what they do. Hey, guess what time it is in the United States? It's election time! And in the United States, they decide that it is in their best interest to elect a leader that absolutely despises any form of war with every fiber of his being. Essentially, he wants this Syrian civil war thing. Yeah, he wants it over, and he wants it over now. Tries to find diplomatic solutions. That doesn't work. So he decides to make a move that pisses off basically everybody. He decides to pull a Biden and withdraw from Syria. And because of this cowardly withdrawal, this entire portion of Syria has now fallen back over to government forces. Of course, there are still small, rebel insurgents here and there within Syria, but here's the thing, those are small and insignificant. Those are not really going to have a big impact on the major war, which is now basically Syria versus Kurdistan. Cue the long and grueling suffering in Syria. Fast forward about a year or two, and as we can see, Kurdish forces are being pushed back, but it's at a fairly slow rate. So, yeah, the Syrian government really does not want to keep fighting this war. So, they decide that they are going to politely ask Kurdistan to kind of stop existing. And of course, Kurdistan responds with no, because, well, we're going to continue fighting this war. We see that you guys are getting tired, and we know that this could be an advantage for us. Syrian government is angry, very angry. So they show up with basically all of their air force to this border, this front line, and they ask the exact same question: cede over to Syria or else. Kurdistan still says no and essentially tells Syria, give it your best shot. Syria then proceeds to turn the entirety of Kurdistan into glass over the course of about a week. So now Syria is united under the government forces, but, well, they may or may not have done some war crimey things in Kurdistan, and now basically everybody hates Syria. Oh, and it's not just these countries. Oh, no, no, no. It's also the, pretty much all the G7 members, couple other of America's major European allies, maybe some other countries in the Americas and Africa. You get it. Everybody hates Syria right now. Let's see how quick this invasion is. We're about to have ourselves a Gulf War Part 2. This time in Syria. Boom. Bap. Bam. And now Syria is given a new government, which isn't in control. Like, the original rebel forces aren't in control of this new Syrian government. But this new Syrian government is, like, I won't say it's pro-Western, but it's definitely more pro-Western than most of the guys over here. Think of it like Turkey's stance in NATO. That's what the new government in Syria, that's what their relations with the West is. It's kind of like Turkey's situation with NATO. Allies, but not friends. So that is going to conclude this video. I hope you geography fans have enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one, which is hopefully going to be coming out later today. I don't know. If I feel like it, I'm kind of tired.